Well, things are already off to a rough start around here. We're not sure we're going to keep the train on the track, but hey.
There's a train?
If you've ever,
What track?
if you've ever been with us in the last 22 years that the four of us have been together, you've been here before. So welcome to WCSM's General Store from the 70X7 studio. It's great to have you with us on this Friday afternoon. Say hey to Goober. Hey to Mike and Carter over there. Thank them so much.
Thank you.
And hey to you, our followers, viewers, fans, and let's see who's been engaging this week.
Yeah,
Who
a
is
few
our
more
top
people
fans?
to tell you about. Renee McLaughlin tops the list this week. Also Fritzy Phillips, Marcy Cripps, Bob Pemberton, Becky Strouser, Danny Todd. Also Bob Harper, Kathy Martinick, Deborah Smock, also Brett Kading, Missy Pinko, LaBrash, Ray Carpenter, Rena K. Westfall, and Dave LaBrash.
Can you do that slow motion? That's a little bit too fast. Can you do it a little bit slower?
How cool of a name is LaBrash?
I don't know. Apparently, it's pretty cool.
I
You
think
do
it's
that
the
every
coolest
time.
name ever. LaBrash. I can just see it on my what was the magazines that we had when we were kids? The Tiger Beat.
Oh.
Remember the Tiger Beat? What else was there? Like
We were poor.
What?
I couldn't get none of them there Tiger Beats. I didn't have none of them.
I'll bring some
Tiger
over.
Beat.
Okay, could you? That'd be great.
17. No, there
I
were
think the
some-
Bay City
there were
Rollers
some-
were on
yeah,
every cover.
yeah, they were, yeah.
S-A-T-U-R-D-A-Y.
They had one song.
Night. S-A-T-U-R-D-A-Y. Night. That's the only song of theirs I know, but
That's a good one.
I think it's the only song they had.
that probably is. That may be
He
it.
did a remake.
Sean
of,
Cassidy was on there a lot too, and Leif Garrett.
Yeah. That's of course, Leif.
Probably Donny Osmond.
Probably.
And maybe Michael Jackson.
Maybe. Yeah.
No, I think it's
How
more.
good was Michael Jackson back in the day? Like,
Sorry.
I mean, he was always good, but like back when he was a young boy, like doing what's the ABC?
Yeah.
And Daisy, 1, 2, 3. The Jackson 5, so good. And I mean, and some of his best. You and I must make a pact. Do you remember that one? We must
Yes.
bring salvation back.
Yeah. I don't think Kurt remembers it, but I do.
I'll be there.
He came through.
That song gives me
They sing that in
chills
school.
and it makes
That's
me
good.
cry every
That
time.
is a
I
good tune.
love that
Yeah,
song.
it's a good tune.
So good.
He
Love
was
me
an
some
incredible
Michael
artist, actually. I mean,
He really
very
was.
talented.
Very sad.
Very, very, very
sad ending.
very- yeah,
So.
very good. Yeah, when he first came out with the very first like Off the Wall, which was his first solo album. Quincy Jones was the producer, and Michael wrote all the stuff, and that's when he broke out. And I mean, that's when he became like the king of pop. Like,
Album cover, brick wall, spray paint.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Oh, so many great songs on that. And then he did the first with Thriller was the first like movie video
Oh, it was
on
a huge deal
MTV.
when it premiered on MTV.
Never. Yeah, we were all sitting there just
Thriller was
waiting.
big.
Oh, that's a little.
Imagine.
So good.
I'm telling you.
So good. Huge.
On that album, I think 8 or 9 of those songs of the 10 went top 10.
On Thriller, yeah,
number
because that
one.
Am I
was
wrong?
Beat It and Billie Jean, wasn't that?
Billie Jean was on there. Yes. I mean, there's so many. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was. It's like you had your couch, the kitchen sink, and the Thriller album. You know, or you
Right.
didn't have a home.
Yes.
Everybody had that.
Yeah,
album.
so good.
Vincent Price did a great job on that.
Yeah, he
Oh,
did.
so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, he used to stay at the Biddle Hotel at IU.
I know I saw him speak at the IU at the
Really?
auditorium.
Yeah, and he
What was
always
his
wanted
connection to IU?
I'm not
Do we know?
Sure.
Theater department, I think.
Oh,
He spoke, right?
Yeah, he came and spoke. Yeah,
He always wanted a view of the cemetery.
yeah.
Yes. I know. It's kind of crazy. And
He was actually a very
My-
good speaker.
Sarah
Yeah,
is doing
entertaining.
Sarah did her internship over the summer at the Biddle.
no
Yeah.
kidding.
Yeah. So those little fun facts came up, I guess.
He was.
Wow.
I'll tell you something about. He was very modest. He said, "I don't have a clue why you college students want to see me." He goes, "The only thing I can think of is I did the narration on the Thriller,
Thriller.
album." And he did it.
Yeah.
For us. And he did such a great job. He goes, "I thought you might enjoy that."
His voice.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know what? I think that era of actor, that era of Hollywood was so cool.
yeah.
I mean, like
Definitely.
Vincent Price and like, that was back in the day. What was that? Like probably the 60s
50s and 60s.
when he was really big, like Martin and Lewis, Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis. Huge. I'm a huge Jerry Lewis fan. Not
Francis-
Jerry Lee. but
Francis the
Jerry.
Mule.
Right.
Francis the Talking Mule was good.
Yeah. Yeah, he was
You don't
good.
remember Francis Talking Mule?
No, that was a little bit. I was never. I mean, I know what
You know what I'm talking
I
about?
know what you're talking about, but I never watched. I don't.
Well, you should have.
Yeah,
Great
no.
show.
It was.
How did we get from Francis?
No, I don't.
It's that same time.
No, yeah.
Oh,
Off
okay.
the rails.
Okay.
I was talking like human, like stars.
I'm
like-
talking stars.
But anyway, but I love that era of like Hollywood. You know what I
star on
mean?
Hollywood.
I do. And I
Like
think.
Clark-
I really think if Vincent Price could see what has happened to the horror industry,
Oh
He'd be horrified.
I don't think that he would approve of it.
no.
I don't think he would approve of it.
No.
I really don't. I might think about
Yeah,
it. I mean,
no.
what we grew
Because
up
now
with
it's
him,
just so dark.
it's wicked.
and
It's awful.
That's
It's-
right. It has a satanic element to it where,
Yeah.
you know, back then
No,
it was
it's-
just kind of spooky or whatever. But
Yeah.
now it's almost like I won't watch some stuff.
Well,
Well, it's like, yeah.
They didn't show the blood and gore, and
Right.
I think that left it more to your imagination.
Right.
You know,
Right.
which made it even
Yeah.
worse.
But I mean, I don't think he would approve of you
Psycho.
know, like torture and the scenes, you know, that they're into now.
Some
I
of
mean,
it's, yeah.
It's just
Pretty dark.
awful.
Yeah,
Awful.
I agree.
So
But gosh, so many great.
Friday the 13th.
I've never watched any of those.
I don't watch
Won't-
any of them.
I won't watch them.
Can't do
Man.
it. Can't do it.
I won't.
How about
Halloween,
Freddy?
none of them.
No.
You never watched Freddy?
No, Chucky. No, I don't.
Nightmare on Elm Street?
Nope. Nope. I think.
No use.
And now, see, I'm all about like action shows. Like, I'm more of a dude when it comes to movies. Like, I like watching like
About Halloween.
action, like all of the Avenger movies and Star Wars and you know all that stuff that my boys would watch. I'm all about that kind of stuff. What's the ones with Vin Diesel, Dom Toretto?
All those
Fast and Furious movies. I like that kind of stuff.
You like John
But
Wick?
I would not. Yes, John Wick was great.
Yeah.
I just refuse to watch those horror type pictures because there is that kind of evil actually in the world. Do you know what I
I
mean?
know. And none of that, I think they give ideas out.
Yeah, I don't
Right.
like them.
Training
Yeah.
shows that.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
like
Nobody dressed up like Dracula, you know. Nobody went out and did Dracula. Bela Lugosi, remember he was looking great. And who was the guy that played Frankenstein and
Lon Chaney was the werewolf.
but Boris Karloff. He did the voice
Yes,
for
yep.
for the Grinch.
Yes, yeah, yeah. But gosh, I mean, you just think about the all of and like Jonathan Winters. Do you remember him? He was
Yeah.
a comedian,
Yeah.
really funny.
Yep.
From back, Don Rickles, maybe the funniest. You guys are you
Oh, I remember Don.
old enough for Don
Oh,
Rickles?
yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Bob Newhart.
Oh yeah.
He just
Oh,
passed
and he
away.
just passed away about a month ago. It was really sad.
Oh,
And so did Richard Simmons.
Yes.
I know.
Believe
Yeah.
that?
Which was really sad. Like he
fine.
turned 76,
I-
and then the very next day he passed away. It was really sad.
I did see where they said who's the lead guitar Keith Richards has now outlived Richard Simmons. I may not be as high on these exercise things as people are trying
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, how does Keith Richards,
to outlive Richard
who
Simmons.
has not lived a pristine life at all,
What kind of world are we leaving for Keith Richards here? I don't understand. We've got to straighten up.
no, I mean Keith Richards and Cher both are going to be the last two standing,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
Right.
it's crazy.
Right. Well, you know, when they say the nuclear bomb goes off, what's left crawling? You know, I mean, that's,
Cockroaches and Keith
Keith
Richards.
I mean,
Yeah,
you know,
although Mick Jagger, who's right there with him,
yeah.
Yeah.
they're still
Oh, yeah.
performing.
Oh, I know
Oh,
they are.
and,
there's-
and not only the performing,
And- yeah.
they're dancing and going
No,
crazy.
yeah, it's,
you know?
I don't know.
They're amazing. They
Make
really
it
are.
make sense.
It is amazing. It's like,
But
wow.
yeah. Yeah, but I know we talked about a lot of these stars before, like when we
did?
did our game show, like our old television
Yeah.
favorite. You know, because we were talking about Roddy McDowell. What is his name? Was that his name? No,
he's a singer.
no, Paul Lynde. Paul Lynde.
yes,
Oh, go
yes.
suck a window. When we were talking about the Hollywood Squares,
yeah.
he was one of my
Colin,
favorites.
He was
and
great.
Yep.
He was so funny, just the way he talked.
You got him down pretty well. You
Yeah, he was one of my favorites.
I can
Loved
never
him.
do Paul in.
But Don Rickles, you can go see him, YouTube videos of him, like on Johnny Carson.
Oh, he's hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean,
Buckle up.
he is so funny, but clean. It's so clean. He's not cussing. He's not being vile or vulgar. But man, was he funny. Because he could just make fun of people.
Right. And what an honor it was if you got drilled by Don Rickles. I mean, if you got insulted by Don Rickles.
Like the Dean Martin roasts from back in the day. Yes. So good.
I still watch those. Yeah,
because again, they were clean. Like you could sit and watch them with your kids.
We did.
But man, they could just wipe you out.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yes.
But it wasn't me.
It was the lady that hit
Ruth Busby.
Oh, Ruth Buzzy.
Yeah.
Ruth Buzzy, yeah. Yeah.
So funny.
From Laugh-In.
She said, Dean Martin, she said, she told Dean, she said, the FBI says I'm the woman of 1,000 faces. And he said, why'd you have to wear that one?
See, now that right there is just
gold.
Gold.
Absolute gold.
That is
And then,
best
of course,
kind
she
of comedy.
starts hitting him more.
Yeah, of course.
Oh
yeah.
my gosh,
The
that's
obligatory
so
hit. You gotta get
funny.
it.
That is so funny. I mean, that's what I grew up on, right? And my dad loved that. And my dad had that kind of a sense of humor. He'd always say,
They were all smoking cigarettes.
"Oh yeah, right." I can remember watching Johnny Carson show, and Dean Martin was just completely pie-eyed and had a drink, had a bourbon and cigarette right there on the set, like just getting completely snookered. It was. They were just so funny, so funny. But that was my dad's kind of sense of
Bob
humor,
Hope,
which
there's
I
a
think.
skit, there's a show, it's not a skit, but Bob Hope's on the show with Dean Martin and Johnny Carson. And Dean Martin says something, and Johnny Carson and Bob Hope run off the stage with Ed McMahon. They're like, we're not even going to say that because he said something. They had to bleep it out. And they're like, they just run off the stage.
Yeah, because the thing was so clean back then.
We can't associate with it.
Right.
But my dad would always say that's the same kind of sense of humor he had. He would be like, I guess it's back when you could say things and not getting,
people lose their mind.
Cancel you. But he'd see somebody that maybe wasn't attractive, and they'd say, my dad would always say, beauty's only skin deep, but ugly go right to the bone. You know what I mean? So it was that same kind of humor, which all of those guys, had back then. So funny. Yeah, that's right. And Flip Wilson? Do you remember Flip Wilson, the Flip Wilson show?
Absolutely.
Why don't we have good television like that anymore?
I'll tell you another one who was a good guest on Johnny Carson with Rodney Dangerfield. He was
yes.
He would just tear it up when he was on there. He would rip out so many lines so quick.
And you can't, you couldn't keep up with him.
No, it's impossible.
You couldn't keep up with him. And his face, like he could say something that wasn't funny, but his face made everything even funnier. You know what I mean? Like he just had, gave good face.
He said, when I was born, they slapped my mama.
See, that's good comedy right there. Let's go back to that. I love it.
They said he was very self-conscious too. Like he would think he wasn't funny. He would go talk to people.
No kidding.
You think when he did Caddyshack, he was very worried because no one was laughing because it was on the set, and he wasn't used to that. And he said it bothered him because he was telling jokes and no one's laughing. He goes, I'm not doing well.
I'm dying here. I'm dying. I ain't got no respect.
Like the one where he talks about the hat, and he goes, "Oh, it looks good on you, though." That was completely ad-libbed. They didn't have that in the script. But he said, "Oh, this hat, they must give you a bowl of soup to buy this hat. Looks good on you, though."
Oh, Rodney Dangerfield. So that was brilliant. That was the golden age of comedy.
Yeah, we'll never,
so good.
Never get
when
that.
And whatever. I love Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, but those guys brought in the vulgar.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's kind of Andrew Dice Clay. Another one was very vulgar.
Yeah.
The true mark of somebody who's really funny is if you can be funny without cursing and being vulgar.
Right.
That is great.
Right.
Yeah.
For me.
It was more of a shock thing than it was comedy.
Yeah. Well, stick around. We're going to take a quick break, but we'll be right back after this. tell y'all about a friend of mine. Her name's Christine Flynn. She's a local farmer's agent in Bloomington. She, I think, was our first partner here.
She was our first partner.
At the general store, which is so awesome.
We have a celebratory picture of the two of us after she agreed to be our first partner.
Yes, yeah. So thank you, Chris, so much. But she is going to become your best friend. Right now, insurances are really tough.
Crazy.
I mean, everything is really tough right now, right? But Chris has over 14 years of experience. She can help you with auto, home, business, life, condo, renters. She is down on South Walnut Street on the corner of Grimes
That's right.
and South Walnut. She's open Monday through Friday, and she can help you identify the insurance coverage that best fits your needs. She's really, really good at what she does. I think she's one of the best in the business. You can give her a call at 812-822-2905. She'll be happy to answer any questions you might have. Be sure and tell her that we've sent you from the general store. Thanks, Chris. We appreciate you.
Just want to take a couple minutes to mention one of our newer sponsors here at the General Store, For Good Reasons Roofing. They're a family-owned roofing company serving South Central Indiana. For good reasons, they're going to be your local professional roof replacement, storm damage repair, also gutter installation services. They have deep ties to the community and are committed to doing what's right by their customers. They were founded on 4 simple reasons: honesty, integrity, quality, and kindness. When you choose For Good Reasons Roofing, you're going to know you're in good hands all the way from the start to the finish. With their transparent pricing quotes, commitment to the the highest quality of products, workmanship, and after installation follow-up. For Good Reasons, they're going to be your professional roofing company you've been looking for and can trust. Give them a call at area code 812-360-4469 or visit them on the web at forgoodreasons.com. That's the number 4, goodreasons.com. Tell them the crew at the General Store sent you.
I want to tell you about one of our sponsors. It's kind of an old and a new sponsor. Chad's Express Lube and Car Care Center is what we used to sponsor, but Chad's business, he wanted to focus in on something. So he sold the Express Lube, but he's focused in on the car care portion. And I want to tell you about Chad's Car Care Center. It's located at 2513 West 3rd Street. You know where that is. That's just up the street from the AMC 12, the 12 Theater on the west side, just right up the street, 2513 West 3rd Street. Chad's Car Care Center. Now, you know how expensive car care can be. You do not want to go to the dealer to have it fixed. They're good, they're just real expensive. Chad will do everything he can to keep your car repairs at the minimum. He does a great job. You'll drive your car in there, and just a matter of an hour or so, they'll have you an estimate to tell you what it's going to cost. He'll do everything he can to keep the cost down low. I just recently took my truck in there, and it was going to be pretty hefty, I'll be honest. But Chad and his crew, they were so knowledgeable, so experienced, they took care of that right away. Chad did everything possible to keep the cost down to a minimum. Anytime you need car repair, car care, take it over to Chad's Car Care Center, 2513 West 3rd Street. Again, right up the street from AMC 12 Theater. You know where that is, right over there in Bloomington. 2513 West 3rd Street, Chad's Car Care Center. Go check him out.
All right, welcome back from our break. So we've been talking just really about great actors, great comedians. Carter brought up a couple of really, really good ones. John Candy.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So funny. You know what? And I don't know if it was you that asked Mark or if Carter was actually the one that asked if we'd ever watched Uncle Buck.
Yeah.
I had not seen that until just recently. I'd never watched it. So funny. Loved John Candy. I'm a huge Chris Farley fan.
Yeah. He's funny.
Great physical comedy. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Oh, yeah.
that man in a little coat. You know, I mean, him and is it David Spade?
David Spade.
The two buddies. Yeah,
They made
so
a
good.
great combo. They really
Oh
did.
my gosh.
And then we were talking about like those early SNL years gave us so many great comedians.
Oh, yeah.
So Aykroyd,
Belushi.
Belushi, which ended up giving us John and Jim Belushi, right? And then Bill Murray.
Yeah.
I mean, where would we be without him, right?
Right.
And then
Right.
Jane Curtin.
Jane Curtin, and then Garrett Morris, was that his name?
That was it.
Yeah.
And then, but we can't remember, what was the actress's name that played Roseanne?
Gilda Radner.
Gilda Radner.
There we go. There.
Yeah, but then, you know what? Like Eddie Murphy came from SNL, like that second or third season.
Yep. There have been tons of people
Yeah.
come off SNL. It's unbelievable. The talent that they've had
Crazy.
on that show.
Crazy.
So-
But I'm with you. I'm a huge Chris Farley fan.
Oh,
Love.
I mean, the guy just walks into a room
oh yeah.
and you just
Well,
wanna
it's that,
crack up,
it's that,
you know?
it's that hair and that.
Oh, yeah.
Just the way he'd shake
Yeah.
his. I mean,
And
just his physical
I
comedy.
love, Living in a Van by the River. I love that.
Oh,
That
it's
was
unbelievable.
Classic,
Yeah.
classic stuff. But his interview of Paul McCartney,
I don't know if I've seen it.
Oh.
I don't think I've seen it.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny, and I'm not gonna go into it.
Can I go to
because-
YouTube?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Now, was
But-
he actually interviewing Paul McCartney, or what was it?
Well, it's a skit.
Oh,
Skit.
okay,
So it's
okay.
a Chris Farley show or whatever,
Right.
and it's a skit, and he's very starstruck.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you can tell he's real starstruck,
Right.
and he's asking him questions.
Right.
And one of the questions that he did ask him, and I crack up every time, because he'll say to Paul, do you remember that one album? When if you roll it backwards, it said
yeah.
Paul is dead.
Yeah,
do,
yeah.
Do you remember that? And Paul's like, yeah, I remember that. I remember that. He goes, you weren't really dead, were you? He goes, no, I didn't really die, Chris. It's like that the whole time. I mean,
And he's probably like,
oh, he's just completely starstruck over it, and just like all of us would be probably if
Right.
we interviewed
Yeah.
Paul McCartney. But yeah, it's hilarious. There's not anything that's not funny about Chris Farley up until his tragic,
Right.
awful,
so.
almost scripted death. I mean,
Yeah.
almost to a T.
Well, Louis Anderson was another
Yeah.
a really good comedian, big guy.
Yeah.
We lost him and Chris Farley and John Candy all
Yeah.
kind of
soon.
not.
Belushi
Yeah.
before
was too
them.
soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just awful.
Oh, John Belushi,
course,
Samurai.
Robin Williams.
Oh,
He
so
wasn't
many
on
great samurai
time.
skits on SNL.
Yeah.
But so you were also saying Robin Williams and Jonathan Winters
Jonathan Winters,
on a Johnny Carson show.
Johnny Carson show,
I'm gonna have to go YouTube.
completely ad-libbed the whole entire thing, and they just fed off of each other and basically went nuts.
They were very good friends in real
and
life.
and
Yeah.
it was unbelievable. I mean,
I'm gonna go-
Of
I'm
course,
just gonna
Carson
go-
just let him go.
Oh,
Right.
You know,
yeah.
so, but yeah, it was funny.
And Johnny Carson himself was funny.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
His timing
Oh, my
was
God.
up.
Yeah, it was really good, and the look on his face, his delivery.
Yeah.
I mean, his delivery was
pauses.
so good.
He sewed the animal thing he sewed the animal, the cuteness and the funny stuff that happened with the animal.
Yes.
He sewed that. I mean, he no one else could have hosted that show and had the animals and made it funny like he did. you know?
No, yeah, he was.
When that
brilliant.
lion roars at or tiger roars at him and he runs over and jumps in Ed Asner's
Yes.
arm.
Yeah.
I mean, no one else would have done that,
Yeah.
you know. But it's hilarious.
Yeah.
What was the genie thing that he did?
Yes.
Oh, that was great. Yeah.
What was his name?
The great San. What?
No.
Oh,
What is that?
Oh,
I just watched it
whatever
the
it
other night.
was.
So yes,
I encourage you, if you haven't seen those on Johnny Carson,
Yeah.
YouTube those.
Oh, that
because
was
Ed
hilarious.
McMahon would give
And
him
McMahon, he'd give him
Johnny.
Hermetically sealed. No one
an envelope that-
knows
right.
what's in these envelopes
And he would-
except for you.
and he would put it up to his head.
Yeah.
And talk about
And
it.
then
first.
Ed would
And
repeat his answer, and he'd go,
It was kind of like a Jeopardy format.
"Oh,
right?
it was hilarious."
a question
Yeah, he would give the
and-
answer.
Yes. So,
Karnak.
Karnak.
The great
Great
Karnak.
Karnak.
It's
And he would always trip every time he came out.
Yeah.
No one except you and your immaculate abilities.
good stuff.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Doc Samson.
Tarzan skit every now and then too.
Yeah.
Yes.
He was good at those.
Yep.
And he had Ronald Reagan down. He could do a Ronald Reagan impression very well. Johnny could.
Can you do Ronald?
Well, no, I can't. But well,
Nancy. Well, Nancy. That's hard.
he had it down pretty well.
But Dana Carvey was another one that was really funny from SNL,
Yeah.
and he did the church lady and
impersonate anything.
he
When
was
he
he the
did
one that did
George Bush.
Yes,
Yeah.
H. Bush.
Yeah, George
HW.
H.
Not going to
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Please vote for me.
yeah.
Don't want to go down as a one-term president.
Oh, he had
Looks
it down.
bad in the history
Yeah.
books.
He was funny.
Yes.
Looks bad.
Oh my goodness.
1,000 points of light.
Yeah.
He was so good.
He was
Oh,
so
yeah.
Oh my
good.
gosh, he
He had it
nailed it.
down.
And I
Now
think,
Dana Carvey and David Spade are both still living,
Right.
And they have been doing, I don't know if it's a podcast
Oh,
or
yeah,
some
I've
stuff
seen that.
together.
It's
Yeah,
hilarious, too.
yeah, they're very very funny.
Yeah.
I think there was a moment. I think Dana Carvey actually met HW and spoke to him
Oh,
in
yeah.
that style.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
my
yeah, I
word.
think that is somewhere.
Yeah.
I know it happened, but I don't know if somebody
Yeah,
got it.
I
But,
did, yeah.
but he actually stayed at the White House and made a phone call in the White House
Yeah.
as HW.
Oh really?
Yeah. So yeah, he great sense of humor, but the Bushes loved him too. So
Yeah. He was really fun. But he did the one that did the church lady.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
church lady. Man,
Not going to do it.
I mean, there've been, I think, some. I wonder how many seasons there has been of SNL, because it's been. I mean, that was probably back in the '70s,
Long
wasn't
time.
it?
Yeah, I started in the 70s. Because
So-
I started watching it from the very first season.
So that's
I know.
50 years,
Close to it.
or probably
Gotta be close. Yeah.
Because it was
Wow, that's
not ready
crazy.
for primetime players.
Yep.
And I absolutely, for me, it hit me just about perfect 12, 13 years old. And probably you the same.
Yep, mhm.
And that was a big deal step on Saturday
Oh,
night
yeah.
and
Oh,
watch
yeah.
that. And they always had a really funny skit at the start.
Yep.
Probably with Chevy Chase doing President Ford. So it'd been
Yeah.
Yeah,
They would
gosh,
act-
yeah.
They would act like it was a news
He would
flash
fu-
coming
Yes.
out, or something was
Yeah.
actually going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chevy Chase actually had back problems because he imitated George
tripping.
Bush so much that he did actually end up hurting his back.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was sidebar when President Ford fell, and then he gets up immediately and sticks his hand out to shake the hand. That's one of the funniest. I mean, it's not funny that he fell, but that
Right.
was so. It's
Right.
so funny to see
Right.
that. You know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
wow.
So that must have been what, 74, 75?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
When
been
he
to that
started.
time.
Yeah.
If they were getting
Yeah.
on him.
Yeah,
that's when
because-
he took over
yeah.
after what?
Yeah.
Because
Watergate.
Jimmy Carter was
77.
just after.
77.
Yeah,
I was
right.
trying to think who did Carter on there because they did Carter. I
Oh, it was Aykroyd, I believe.
Aykroyd did
Yeah.
Carter. Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
No, wait. Did he do Nixon? Anyway.
Oh,
Anyway.
I bet he did Nixon.
I
He
bet
did.
you
He
he's
did
right.
do Nixon. I do know.
Yeah.
because
Yeah, he did.
They did one with the tapes.
I'm
and they-
not a crook.
They were walking around acting like they were making fun of the tapes. They really weren't. They were just doing it as a joke. Like, oh, we'll say we're paying somebody to go look at the hotel.
Who was the one? Oh, it was Jim. I think it was Jim Belushi. Candygram. Land Shark.
Oh, that's
Or,
Land Shark. That's John Belushi.
Was or John Belushi?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you remember that skit
I don't.
at all?
Yeah, he would go telegram. She goes, I don't get any telegrams. Some type of pizza delivery.
Yeah.
I didn't order.
What was he? Was he just trying to get in?
Yeah.
He's like a stalker or something.
And then
wasn't he?
he'd
He
say
was a
something
stalker
else.
or something.
And then say
Yeah.
something else. Oh well, I did order that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. He was
They
a
would
shark.
play that music.
He was a shark.
Yeah.
He was dressed up.
Land
He
Shark.
was Land Shark.
Okay.
That's the skit.
But
yeah.
he would
So
have
probably-
different names that he would say he was. And
Probably
they
after
would keep going
Jaws.
through. No, I didn't.
Yes,
I
I
didn't
bet it
order a
was.
taxi. No, that couldn't be a taxi.
Candygram.
Candy. Oh, candy. Oh, I did.
Yeah, I did order a Candygram.
Oh well, in that case.
Yeah. Fun stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yep. And then, what was the
Dan Aykroyd did Julia.
the Loud
Child.
family? Oh, the Loud family.
Oh, the Coneheads.
Coneheads.
And the
were classic,
Coneheads.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: so when SNL started, that original cast, which
Yeah.
are the ones we're talking about,
Oh, yeah.
Aykroyd, Murphy, all them, or Murray and Jane Curtin, were they on for like
Probably
the first 5 or 6 years?
Oh yeah, easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
They were awesome. They were. It was unbelievable.
they all went on to have
Oh,
very like big careers on their
Yeah.
own once they moved on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it made a lot of stars out of a lot of different
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
comedians.
Aykroyd is so talented, though. because he's a comedian, but he's also a serious
Really
actor.
good actor, yeah.
as well. And from what I understand, he can sing too.
Really?
Oh,
He's a
really?
singer.
Well,
In
he sang with the
fact-
Blues Brothers.
In fact, he was in the We Are the World.
Oh,
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
If you watch that documentary, he was in there.
I didn't know that.
I know, I didn't either.
Well-
have you seen the documentary?
No, I just the video,
Okay.
the music video.
Right,
but
right.
yeah.
If you watch the Blues Brothers, they do the actual singing, and that sound of that band is, I think, very good. You know?
And that was
Yeah.
It's a
John
soul
Belushi
band,
and
great
Aykroyd.
song.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Highly recommend that Netflix documentary. If you were alive
I've heard very good things.
and had a heartbeat in 1984 and you had a radio,
Okay.
all the singers, right?
Right, yeah.
But the story behind it is phenomenal.
Yeah, I've
I'm
heard-
not kidding.
Really?
It brings back so many memories of that time period.
Was it We Are the World? Is that what you said?
We Are the World. Yeah, and how that came together. I mean, you can imagine what does it take to get 30
Wow.
of the best of
Right.
the best, the top singers. I mean, there were so many good singers
Yeah.
in that
Oh,
song.
yeah, all of the greats were there.
But they talk about the writing of the song and how
Uh-huh.
it came together.
and that was used to raise money for people that were starving.
Africa, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ethiopia maybe. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one of the
We
biggest
are the world.
one of the biggest songs ever.
We are the children.
Yeah. A great song. Great song.
Yeah. Well, I have to check that. So it's
Please
on
do.
Netflix.
On Netflix.
Okay.
Highly recommend. 5 stars, 2 thumbs up. I may have gotten emotional watching it.
Wow, I see a tear jar right now.
So, no kidding.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
have to check that out. I'm kind of in between things I'm watching, so that's good to know. I'll have
Yeah.
to check that out.
Yeah, it's maybe a 4-part series.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go to YouTube too and watch a bunch of Johnny
You got
Carson
to.
stuff. I've got to get.
You
I've
gotta
got to
get
go
your
check
fix
that out.
there.
Yeah.
And he's on every night on Antenna TV, 10 o'clock.
I don't know what's Antenna TV.
It's just another channel.
Is it a streaming
Free.
service?
Should be free. No, it's on cable. I don't know what it is on.
Oh, we don't have. We've got.
I don't know if
Apple
they stream or not.
TV, I think. So, huh.
It just shows old shows like
Yeah.
Green Acres and
Oh, okay.
that kind of
Oh,
stuff.
well, I've got a channel that does that. I don't know what.
Yeah,
I
there's
can't
3 or
remember
4
what it is now,
out
but-
right now.
Okay.
That's all I ever watch. I'm
Yeah.
old fuddy dud.
Do you do Pluto? Is that the one
Yeah,
you get your
that's-
Beverly Hillbillies from?
No, I can't remember what I was watching that.
There's,
on.
yeah, one of those
Mom,
plays Johnny Carson 20.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
It's like a
I think I have Pluto though.
Okay.
It's got the Johnny.
Yeah,
they got a
look,
Carol Burnett
there's-
show.
yeah.
They have a Johnny Carson.
even Andy is
Yeah.
on there.
Yeah, I know.
Gosh, we didn't even talk about the Carol Burnett show. Oh my word, Harvey Korman and
Tim
Tim Conway.
Conway.
Hello,
I,
another great physical
The dentist skit,
comedian.
one of the best ever. The dental skit where he
Oh
dumps
yes,
himself.
where he
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Harvey
Tim
Corbin
Conway.
laughing is what makes it. He tries to keep a straight
He
face.
could never keep a
When
straight
you-
face. He was
Well,
so
how
funny.
could
they
you
are
with-
laughing.
Yes, yeah.
With Tim Conway, how could you not?
You know.
I like the Tim Conway where he
Plays the old man.
he's like he's going real fast, but he's not even moving. None of them can keep a straight face
and
when he does
Carol
that.
Burnett plays his secretary, and he's the boss.
That's where Mama's Family was born, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. That was the skit.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
She was
okay.
Eunice on there.
Yep.
Vicki Lawrence.
Oh my word, so much.
Eunice.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, we're going to rabbit hole right now
Well,
into
Corbin
old,
was her
great
husband.
classic television. So we hope you don't mind.
Yeah.
We hope that we maybe jog some memories
Yeah.
for you, or maybe you will now go look up some of this stuff too, because
Yeah.
you want to
Have
see
fun
what
with
we're
it.
talking about. It's so
You gotta laugh.
We would love it if you would comment below what some of your favorite classic TV shows or comedians were. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah.
So. Well, thanks for joining us. If it's God's will, we'll be back in here next week to do it all again from the general store.